Coming up today, we're joined by Killian from Boy and Bear.
Trying to find a hard drive with the whole recording session on it, and we've lost the hard drive.
We'll tell you about the epic This Land Festival with headliner Becca Hatch. And Dan will help you get your midweek live music fix. Produced on Awabakal and Warramai Land, this is The Good Stuff on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good. Good
stuff.
The Good Stuff. Becca Hatch will hit the stage at Museum Park to headline the This Land Festival in September. It will be a musical showcase of nationally renowned and local First Nations artists such as Warramai and Gamilaroi musician Jacob Ridgway, who curated This Land. It will also feature acoustic duo Chain Daisy, Trowaway Woman and hip-hop artist Danny, Wiradjuri singer-songwriter Blanche and Man Young. To find out more, head on over to newcastlelive.com.au.
Newcastle Live. Newcastle Live.
Critically acclaimed Aussie band Boy and Bear are about to release 3 songs that were originally recorded for their iconic Harlequin Dreams album. We're joined for a chat by Killian Gavin. I'd like to know, why were these songs left off?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Every record, there's always a number of songs we have to sort of cull, just because the fact we'll be writing a lot of songs. You're always trying to paint some sort of cohesive picture when it comes to the whole album. So it's not always that the songs aren't as good or the songs aren't whatever. It's just whether it felt like it fit what the essence of that record was when we made it. So yeah, there would have been at least another 10 or 15 demos for that album that never turned into songs. These ones actually turned into songs.
Yeah, wow.
They just didn't make the final cut when we made the track listing for the record.
That's amazing. So were you kind of holding out, hoping that maybe something would come along that you could include them on, or did they just get forgotten completely?
No, yeah, the latter, definitely. Like we never had any intention of doing anything with them. I mean, there's other demos that have been recorded and made into songs for every other record we've done, even including Moonfire, which came out before that. And those songs they're all finished. They've just never ever been released because they didn't make the album for the same reason. So there was probably never an intention to do anything with them. It just felt like something nice with coming up to, I guess, the 10-year anniversary of this album, that we're like, well, those couple of tracks that we recorded were kind of cool. And I'm sure you've been told this already, but it was quite a big effort hunting down the actual songs and trying to find where the actual recordings were.
Oh, really? Can you tell us about that process?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we knew of the songs and we had a couple of floating copies in pretty bad quality floating around some emails. So we ended up trying to find a hard drive with the whole recording session on it, and we've lost the hard drive, so we don't have the multi-tracks anymore. I don't know where they are, which is really terrible. So we got in contact with the guy that mixed the album, Phil Eck. He's based out of Seattle, and he was a little bit dumbfounded how we lost all the drives and a little bit upset. But
it's actually for such an iconic album too, that is.
I know, it's a little bit silly. If you ever wanted to find those things and do anything with it, they're a little bit, I don't know where they are, who has them. So he didn't have them either, and he ended up putting us in contact with the guys in New York that mastered the record, and they ended up finding some drive, buried in a warehouse. It took them a couple of days to find it, and they found the files and sent them through. So
that's brilliant.
Pretty lucky.
Yeah. So lucky. That's incredible. I'm always blown away by the live sound of Boy and Bear. You guys were actually my very first concert that I ever went to. And
cool.
Still so special. I remember it vividly. It was at Panthers in Newcastle. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah. That must have been 2014 or something. I don't know, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2014.
I don't remember every show, but I do remember that one.
Yeah, awesome.
I think it was a big show. It was a really big venue.
It was huge. It was huge. Yeah. It was absolutely packed out. And as my first concert, I was like, what is going on here? This is crazy. It's crazy. But it was so much fun.
Oh, great.
And you guys will be back in Newcastle at the Civic Theatre this time on the 28th of September. What excites you most about going back on tour?
I mean, particularly with this tour, it's a more regional based run, and we haven't done a heap of those in the last few years for a number of reasons. But we've definitely missed it because it's such a fun way to tour because you treat parts of the country as a certain leg, and it just means rather than flying to Melbourne, flying home, flying to Perth, flying home, we're actually going to drive most of those legs, and you might do 4 or 5 shows on that particular week. So you end up just getting to see a lot more of the country because you're in a car and you're stopping it off at all the nice little bakeries around the different towns, and you get to do a little bit more sightseeing, and there's just a bit more time to explore all these beautiful places. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. We're on the road for maybe 8 or 9 weeks, I think. So there'll be plenty of time for us to there'll be plenty of time to escape and find little pockets and do a bit of sightseeing and actually see the country.
Yeah, incredible. Well, Killian, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. It's been awesome talking to you. And
Thank you, my pleasure.
I can't wait to see you at the Civic Theatre on the 28th of September this year.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thanks, Bonnie. Appreciate you having a chat.
No worries at all. Lovely to meet you.
You too. See you later.
Bye.
This is where it
Sounds good.
Good stuff.
Looking for a midweek live music fix? Tonight you can catch Postmodern Jukebox on stage at the Civic Theatre. Baltic play the Grand in Newcastle tomorrow night, and the Pirates and Punks Festival takes over the Hammer on Wednesday. And on Thursday night you can catch Ash Grunwald on stage at the Stag for a very intimate gig.
The good stuff. That's it for the good stuff today. I'd love to say a big thank you to Killian from Boy and Bear. Their show in Newcastle at the Civic Theatre is selling very quickly, so make sure that you go and grab your tickets now. Thanks heaps for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the good stuff.